Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sagevivor Season 5, The Golden Age. So, in this episode, we spun the wheel again, and this time we landed on Season 4. So Season 4 just means there's a bunch of hidden things throughout the server, and they're given an advantage menu similar like they did in Season 4 Hogwarts. So they could buy an idol piece, an extra vote, only during this cycle, and the things are only hidden during this cycle, which worked out perfectly because we went back to Sage's Hotel of Horrors, classic challenge that everybody loves. A lot of people were really enthralled in the hotel itself this time, and so they actually kind of were lacking on the confessionals, unfortunately, but we'll jump right into it to the ones that we do have and kind of see what went down. Friendly reminder, if you have not already, smash that like button for me to show your support for the series. It not only helps myself, but it helps the cast of Sagevivor and future cast of Sagevivor, and consider subscribing. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of sick. That was a mouthful. Anyways, let's get into it.
Yo, confessional people, me on the way home as I drive. Also, I don't know why my thing's still on, but I'll have to turn it on anyways. It's episode 4. Well, no, it's not. This is a little late coming out because I was kind of forced busy last night to actually submit a vote since we kind of decided things in the last minute. I can tell you basically the whole rundown of what happened this past episode before I inevitably wait another day before I give you guys episode 5's confessional as things develop here. But basically the scenario of it was like this cycle started, all of us were talking together, and we basically figured out that the challenge was going to be the hotel. I really wanted to play because everyone was going to be there and I wanted to talk to people, but I mean, I was like, you know what, Dylan said he wanted to play, he hasn't really played anything, hasn't really done much, we'll give Dylan a chance to, work out there. So Dylan was out there, Taylor went, Vintage went, Snowy was like refusing, so like basically me and Cam sat out, which Cam was not really active enough anyway, so it's kind of like, why? So yeah, we go to the challenge. I'm stuck at home, and then like, Vintage goes in, comes out first. I think we're looking good. Snowy comes in, comes out. They both go back in, they all coming out. And then in the end, it basically becomes a 1v1 against Ethan and Dylan. And by apparently 0.03 seconds, Dylan lost, and Ethan got out of the hotel first. So we went to tribal. I was actually kind of upset with that. But in the process of it, I also learned that some rat was leaking around outside of who I told that I had every advantage that I had. Because, I mean, Dylan comes to me and says, like, why are you upset with me? You're the one that's been lying to me this entire time. Haven't even told me about your advantages. And I was like, oh, shit. That's not good. We had a little beef, little argument. We went on VC, patched things up. I was like, hey, I told him the most blatant lie I've ever said. I had no one to tell him that I had those advantages because I just, it's Dylan, and I was gonna go against him later with Elk or something like that. But I had no way to go around it. So I basically told him, I was like, hey, I didn't tell you because we haven't spoken as much. Like, like had we had an opportunity to actually talk to each other before this point, you would know that, I had those advantages. Like, it's not personal against you. I wasn't trying to hide it from you. Everyone in the tribe knows except for Cam because I want Cam gone. Like, it's just that simple. And I took the mental note of like someone linked it to him because I didn't want him to know. So I'm like, okay, the only people I told were literally the 3 people that I trusted the most, Taylor, Vintage, and Snowy, who at this point made an alliance called the Garland Kings, by the way. That's not Taylor, it's Vintage and Snowy with me. So I'm like, yeah, okay. I wasn't really too happy about that. So then we continue on, and we're gonna, figure things out after that point. And Vintage and Snowy are like pretty set on apparently Cam going home, like I was, because Cam wasn't as active. But Taylor comes to talk to me all day yesterday, and she's like, I feel really bad for my position on this tribe if we lose again. It feels like I might go home, yada yada yada, this and that. And I'm like, I don't know about that one, Chief. So I was like, okay, that's cool. We can figure something out. Me and Dylan and you can work together. And they're talking about how like, oh, but do we want to vote Cam here? And I'm like, no, I think basically hinting that I want to vote Cam still. And I'm like, But I want to tell her, I'm like, yeah, we can consider something else. And I was kind of being shady back to her because she was being shady to me, but I was like, we'll just let it slide. So then we get to like an hour before tribal, after everyone said like they're locking in Cam, and Dylan comes to me actually within the last 30 minutes, which is why this confessional is later than that, because we had to discuss things in the last 30 minutes before sending our vote. Ultimately 3 minutes before tribal started, even 2 or 1 minute apparently. But we all sit there, and Dylan comes to me and says, Taylor is coming after you. Them and Cam are trying to get me to vote you. They want a tie. And me sitting in this position knowing that if Vintage knows that there's a tie that Taylor wanted, he's just going to like go out, follow her. Like they're literally dating at this point. At least I think that. Still, they should be. I haven't heard any news otherwise, and I don't really want to get in their personal life. But like, so I'm like, okay, well, she's coming after me. That's not good. I mean, that sucks. I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm like, maybe just vote Cam. I trust Vintage. I trust Snowy, and I was right. I mean, I did trust them, and they did vote Cam. Or they were at least going to vote Cam. But I was like, hey, like, okay. And we started talking about like, okay, yeah, we can vote Cam. And then Dylan was like, what if we put into the verse? You have advantages. What if we use one of them or two of them to ultimately vote someone that we want out instead, like just you and me? And I'm like, let me think about this for a minute. If I use like a steal a vote, or he uses a shard, he uses this and that, and like people vote for me and the other two vote for Cam, the original like thing is 2-2-2. So like the best way to get out of that, to avoid a tie and avoid people going to like rocks and stuff like that, would to be to make sure that like the tie, if we wanted to, is between people we want. So like we'll consider the things that remove me as a target. But then think about it, I have a steal a vote. So I'm like, hey, what if I steal one of Cam or Taylor's votes? And he's like, we should steal Cam's vote, because you know, Vintage will know that Taylor's being voted if we steal Taylor's vote. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And I was like, that's cool. So we steal Cam's vote, or we're gonna steal Cam's vote, and we're like, let's vote for like Taylor. Me, Dylan, plus my steal vote becomes my extra vote. Oh, okay, well apparently people are just letting me in, whatever. So apparently, like, we steal Cam's vote. We're gonna steal Cam's vote. We have 2 votes for me, and then 1 vote for Dylan. That's 3. Then 2 if Cam and Snowy are telling the truth, and 1 if like Taylor's actually voting me. So it'd be like 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna vote Taylor out. And that was our plan. I'm not gonna spoil whether or not it actually went through, because this is after tribal and I don't want to be a spoiler about it. But hey, I mean, like, that was our plan, and we decided it in the last 10 minutes. There's a lot of jam-packed cycle. That's why this is a 6-minute confessional, but I am going to peace out and let you guys solve this on your own. But anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, tomorrow, and we'll figure things out.
I forgot to make a confessional. Oh god, so much has happened since the end of the last episode, but for starters, I mean, I don't know. These people just don't know how to lie, for one. Like, I don't know, you can check the last confessional. Like, I was like, these people are acting weird. Like, there's no way that I'm safe right now. But, I ended up being safe, but I almost wasn't. Whatever. I don't really care. I mean, the worst thing you can do in the game, if you're someone else, is to take a shot at me and miss. So, that's their fault. Their problem now. I think I did a good job at, like, turning them all against each other. Mia, Johnny, and Elk. Got Mia to, like, blow up publicly and stuff, which is good. I got the admission, like, I got people to admit that they had a 3-person alliance. So now, they're kind of in this rough spot where if they take me out, they're kind of reinforcing that perception to the rest of the players. Like, even with that, we still voted Jordy out. So everyone else is just going to think, oh, maybe they are a trio. I can't tell them anything because they'll share it with each other. That's like what everyone's going to think. So I'm hoping in the event we go back to tribal, that is something I can use. Mia got a safety without power from the hotel, and Dylan got an idle piece. Hoping that is also something I can use, because I have an extra vote, and so if Mia dodges tribal, I can use my extra vote to force fire against Johnny. Actually, I think I would force fire against Elk for 2 reasons. One, because I think Elk is worse at comps than Johnny, especially what a comp that I had imagined fire is, which is like a strongly skill-based comp, not a graphic design or anything like that. Like, surely it's a skill-based comp. So I'm thinking I'd have a good chance of beating Elk and fire. Plus, I know that Wrath and Dylan both like Elk, and I know Wrath dislikes Johnny, and Johnny was also pinned as kind of the ringleader and stuff. So plus Elk's a winner, and I am worried about a potential winners alliance. So yeah, I do think it's in my best interest to go for Elk over Johnny, even though part of me really wants to go for Johnny. I do think long term it's in my better interest to work with, to keep Johnny around, just because I know that if Johnny's in the game, then Wrath won't work with him. And I know and I know it'll be a point of contention for a lot of people whether or not they want to keep or go for Johnny. Like that's something people will break alliances over. But Elk, I think a lot of people wouldn't want to go for Elk when we merge. So I think it's actually more dangerous to keep Elk around, just because he's actually like less of a name, like he has less of a spotlight on him. Plus, of course, like we're nearing the point where we're gonna merge, I think, or at least swap. The longer we're here, the more likely it is that we swap. So I do think keeping Johnny around one more time is better. But also because Johnny's better at Elks and Comp, which is both like, it's good because that means that Elk is a better idea to go up against in fire, and it means that Johnny can help us win a comp if we do go to a tribal and we don't swap immediately after. Johnny is more useful for Elk than Elk is in terms of winning a comp. So yeah.
Alright, this is my episode 4 confessional. I'm wearing the same shirt because I might be recording at the same time. So 3 confessional. I'm trying to make it so where it makes sense in the timeline for posting this on YouTube. Sorry, Sage, but I will be better about this in the future, I promise. Anyways, this is a very crucial episode for me, in my opinion. That's because, like, I'm already on the bottom. I'm going into a tribe full of 4 people that just voted me out, and somehow I gotta find a way to get them back on my side, because a lot of shit happened that led up to me being voted out, and I really just had to get to the bottom of it. There's a lot to unpack. Like, I don't even, there's probably stuff I'm just gonna forget to say on this because there's so much shit that went into it. But basically, the rundown from my perspective is Gumby knew he was getting votes. Somebody told him, my biggest guess was Ethan. Ethan probably told Gumby he was getting votes. He panicked. He told everyone that I was the one who leaked it to him that he was getting votes, which is not true. The most I told him was that I heard his name come up, but when it came down to him, I told him that Rochi would be the vote, because that's literally who he told me he was voting for. So there's that. And then Gumby also went over to Danny, talking to people about how I'm making all these Final 2 deals. He mentioned how I made a Final 2 deal with him on my season with him, and then I ended up blindsiding him season 1, which was taken completely out of context, because yes, I had a Final 2 deal with him, but I completely wanted to that season to uphold that Final 2 deal with him. I just couldn't, because at the merge vote, everybody wanted to vote him out. Like, I don't remember the vote count, but it was like probably near unanimous. So I had no way to save him then. It's not like I blindsided him. I wasn't the one who did it. He used that against me, which, I mean, fair play on his part. He's playing hard. It was a good move on his end. And yeah, he just convinced Danny on a bunch of stuff. I was also very close to Mason. Danny caught on to that, and he was like, dude, I didn't even think you were close to me. He was like,
when Mason talks to you, he's always like calling you bro or my man James. And it's like, dude, man, like, it's not like I was ever, like, yes, I'm loyal to Mason, but Danny is always my number one. He was the guy who I felt the best with. So, in a lot of ways, Danny was convinced that I was betraying him or I wasn't as good of an ally as he thought I was. He said things about me having a final two alliance with people like Ethan or Mason. Like, I never had any of that. In fact, the only person I made that was you. And you were convinced that someone else, it was the whole thing. We cleared everything in the air. Me and Danny cleared the air, which was nice because I needed to do that. I knew that coming back, he was the person I needed to get back on my side because I didn't think Gumby would want to. I still don't really think he does. Obviously, you know, since I'm back on the tribe, he's going to try to make me feel comfortable and stuff, but I really don't think he wants to work with me after he already basically planned my demise. And then talking to Rochi is also really weird because I was talking to Ethan, he was like, apparently you and Rochi had beef, and I'm like, I didn't even know we had beef. Like, where is this coming from? And then now I'm talking to her, and Rochi thinks that I threw her name out during the last tribal council, which is not true. I never threw her name out. I talked to Gumby about voting her because, again, Gumby told me he was voting her. So, in my opinion, everything is just going back to him. And I mean, again, it's not. I would take it differently if his name wasn't on the chopping block and he was just doing this to blindside me. But his name, he was the person who was going to go if it wasn't, like, he was going to go if I didn't go. Like, he was going to go and then he shifted it up to me. So it was a very well played on his end. And I respect the move 100%, but at the end of the day, I feel like I definitely wrongfully got voted out for stuff that was out of my control. So my game plan really is just try to find a way. Hopefully Danny can work with me. I'm doing my best to solidify everything with him. Trying to get Mason's always been with me. I think that vote definitely just showed how much I can trust him because he stuck with me even when I was the one getting voted out. He still stuck with me, and that speaks to his loyalty to me. We had two alliances together. One he made with me and Gumby. He made Mason made an alliance with me, him and Gumby, which honestly probably should have never been made. I said yes to it because I wanted an alliance. But I definitely trust Mason the most at this point. Danny, I feel like I still vibe with the best, but I think in order for me for him to be my number one again, he has to prove his trust to me. So right now he's number two, which, it's kind of hard making a trust ranking when 4 people just voted you out, I'm not gonna lie. But, honestly, all in all, I'm glad to be back because as long as I'm still fighting, as long as I'm still in this game, that's all that matters, really. And, this is definitely a new position for me. I've never been blindsided, or I was blindsided in my old season, but it wasn't anything crazy. I was never on the bottom, really. I was always in a great position, social-wise, like no one ever targeted me. So getting this is just honestly a wake-up call. I gotta start playing the game a bit harder. I gotta stop being like, I gotta stop being like, I'll do whoever as long as it's not me. That whole Sandra kind of strategy isn't gonna work out for me right now. Gotta make moves, gotta lie to some people, gotta go back to my villainous ways. Yeah. Anyways, going into this challenge, it was a hotel challenge, and I really did like this challenge for many reasons. One, because I couldn't go into the hotel. The thing is, I don't want to go to tribal, and since I work, I wouldn't really be able to, be a good competitor in the hotel. I want to go to the hotel one just to clear my name. If Gumby and Roshi are going in there, probably talking things, talking bad about me, putting a bad image of me in their minds, like, I'm not gonna have any allies to work. Like, I don't have any allies to work with once a swap happens or merge happens. So I wanted to go just to talk to everyone about how my tribal council went because that was very important. Also the fact that there's obviously we had one on our season. There's a possibility for advantages. So because of that, I wanted to go just so like even if I came back and we had tribal, maybe I could have found myself an advantage or something, like a safety without power or something like that. Because that would have been it would have been perfectly nice, because then if I do go to tribal, I don't have anything to worry about. But I was working. To me, tribal immunity mattered way more, so I let everyone else go and I stayed back. And it was me and Danny that sat out, which is nice. I feel like we had more to talk about in that moment. I didn't want to go to tribal because if I'm away from everyone, then there's not much convincing I can do when I'm not even allowed to talk to them. So the fact that we won was amazing. Like, I'm so happy we won that, because I get to see another day in this game. But yeah, moving on from this episode, I'm really hoping for a swap next tribal, or like next round. I really need a swap. Like, you have no idea how uncomfortable I feel in this tribe. If I go to another tribal council, I give it like 50-50. I go out, probably even higher percent. So I really just need to swap. Need to get someone else in my tribe. Need to make some more allies, because the more I stay in this tribe, the more likely I will be to be, like, voted off. That being said, playing from the bottom over here, but hopefully we'll make it out on top. I'll see you guys.
Hey, what's good, guys? I just got a shower, so my hair's all wet and stuff. It is a mess. Anyways, just giving a little update. It's been a minute. Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. Actually, no, not really. But, I'll find stuff to talk about because I liked it yet. It was the classic hotel challenge, and I was both looking forward to and dreading it at the same time, because it's fun, but it's also horrifying for it can be really horrifying sometimes. So I was kind of like, but then Ethan asked me to sit out, and I was like, no, but I did, because I gotta look trustworthy. Hopefully that decision doesn't come back to bite me. We'll see. However, it did work out for me, because Gumby, the king, recorded himself lip-syncing a video and got 100 advantage points for our tribe, and legit everyone in my tribe was in the hotel, and you have to buy it in your tribe camp. So I bought myself a little nullifier, and then just told everyone. The only reason I did it was to keep James from getting it, because James was the other person in my tribe that was sitting out. And everyone seemed to buy it. Of course, that's not why I bought it. I bought it because I wanted me some advantages. But I made it sound like I just bought it to keep it from James. And I even said I would use it at the first tribal just to flush it. Probably won't. But yeah. So I got myself an idle nullifier, which is good because those were my nemesis in season 3. I almost went home because of idle nullifiers multiple times. So it's nice to be on the other side of the words. The other side of the... Yeah. Anyways, I am very dumb. But I did get some drama from the hotel. Apparently, Mia had a mental breakdown. What else is new? So that's good, because I'll have to keep that in mind for the future. I can always rope her in like I did in season 3, if need be. Like, oh, you poor thing. I'm sorry. I got you. And then got her again as an ally. We'll see. Might not work, but it's worth a shot. Yeah, and then Dylan got an idle piece, and Mia got a safety without power, apparently, because Mia is the queen of getting advantages handed to her from the hotel. and someone else bought an idle piece, and then Mason bought an extra vote with the advantage points, which really sucks. I wanted Ethan to do it, but Ethan didn't realize we had enough points. So, yeah. James, speaking of, so we voted out James 4-2, leaving Mason out of the vote. And then James came right back because of the twist, because screw me, I guess. And he's been pretty fake since getting back. He's like, it's fine, it happens. And he's telling me he still has my back. His eyes were like, oh yeah, I only did it too because I didn't know what else to do. And sorry, I heard a door. Anyways, I didn't know what else to do, and I figured you'd come back, so I just went with it, so people wouldn't think you and I would work together. So now we can be like the duo of the season, and nobody will suspect it, stuff like that. And I don't know if he bought it. I don't know if I would buy it, but it seemed like a decent play on my part. We'll see. So yeah, we won immunity, so don't have to worry about tribal council, which is good because I don't really know what would happen at tribal. I really hope a swap happens soon. I've kept telling people, no, we can't swap. Bestie, I want to swap. I feel uncomfy on this tribe. It's too one tone. I need things to constantly be changing. Yeah, that's pretty much all. I don't know if I got anything else to go over right now. We'll see. If so, I can always do another one of these later. But for now, that's just a quick little update. Your boy has an advantage. Your boy has an alliance. Your boy has some enemies. Your boy has potential future. And your boy had a mental breakdown last night. But guess what? We good. Peace.
Alright, I've recorded this like 4 times now. Hopefully this is the right one. Episode 4. Names out there. Not really a big surprise to me. I haven't been as active as I would like to be, as I typically am in these. But I'm busier than I used to be, I suppose. But regardless, I'm pretty sure Taylor has my back. She has advocated for me fairly well across the board to everyone, I'm pretty sure, but the issue is that Vintage is airing me. He hasn't really responded to me all day. Not a great sign. Snowy, he was out with friends, so I'm assuming he passed out and already voted. And since he didn't really talk to me about anything, I'm assuming he voted me. So that's 2. I can't get a third one. Talking to Dylan and Taylor, about a Wrath vote. Dylan does have an idle piece, so maybe that could come in handy, but in the event that Snowy passed out and didn't vote, then we wouldn't need to use it. So forcing a tie may be a good idea just to test the waters. But the issue is that Wrath has a bunch of advantages, because he bought all of the stuff from their auction. So, not great to have him be the target. Really, that's the only option I have. I like Wrath, so going after him isn't really what I wanted to do. I was hoping we'd survive as a tribe without having to vote anyone off yet, just because I like the people here. But it is what it is. It's either him or me. So, yeah. Hopefully all goes well.
Hey there, Sagevivor. It's Elk again. Oh, I always say that in a weird, funny way, don't I? So, basically, hello. we've had some issues, to put it lightly. Mainly, the last vote, I was sick, and so I fell asleep before the vote concluded, meaning that my vote for Jordy stayed put, and everyone else voted Sebastian, which is not great. So, that was fantastic. And then nobody bothered to keep their stories together, so Jordy basically called all of us out in public for being trio, which is also not great. So Mia devised a strategy to publicly blow up said alliance to make it seem like we're not together anymore. And yeah, they had to do a lot of convincing to Jordy that my story was the true one. I even whipped in a thermometer just to be like, hey, I'm the one telling the truth here. And it's not great at all. So we're gonna have to figure out how to do this and play forward with what's happening here. Thankfully, this is my first time in the history of Sagevivor to have an immunity, which is great because I really needed it. I did not want to have to vote out Jordy. Even worse if Jordy has an idol of some sort, because then Jordy could idol himself and then force the vote to whoever he wants to vote out. Although if I had to choose, I would vote out Johnny over Mia. So basically, we just need a tribe swap really badly, and I have to somehow live this. Okay, I didn't really have a lot to talk about. Oak out.
Sorry. I forgot to do a video, but the challenge was Sage's Hotel of Horrors, my favorite challenge, and we ate, and then nothing happened, which on one hand I was glad because I felt like I didn't feel secure if we went to tribal, but on the other hand I don't like that James is still here, so but yeah, I live to see another day. And that's about all because nothing really happened. So I'll update you guys in episode 4? Something like that.
Hi guys, it's your boy Dylan B. Dylan B fucking Poland Blindside. Just call me Dylan Blindside. Dylan B. But anyways, yeah, welcome to my confessional for episode 4. Ignore my messy apartment. I just have a lot of energy to film this one, so I'm gonna go balls to the walls with it. But yes, crazy round. Dylan B cracked out. Dylan B wild. Dylan B somehow surviving, but fighting. Dylan B fighting half the cast. What is happening here? So basically, we go into this challenge at the hotel. In case if you guys haven't been keeping track, I sat out and have not participated in any challenge this season. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna participate. So we get in the hotel. Guess which bitch doesn't get out? I knew I was gonna be at work. I just wanted to be in the hotel. I wanted the drama. I wanted the tea. And you know what it was? I caused all of it. I fought with everybody. They were so it was crazy. I fought with Mason. I kind of threw Gumby out. Mia and Elk don't like me because I told them that their tribe looks like Donald Trump flag, and they didn't put names on it. And they're like, you shouldn't critique art. And I felt a little bad, but your flag was, you lost to us doing MS Paint. So, sorry, oopsie. But yeah, I'm excited to film this for you. So we lost the challenge because of me, okay? Whatever. Then, I got an idol shard too, so I have an idol shard, so that's great. Then we get out of the hotel, and Wrath was like, Dylan B, I'm very being disappointed, and he didn't say that, but he's like, I'm upset. You promised that you were going to stay in the hotel the whole time. You said this, you said that. And I'm like, bitch, please. Vintage, Snowy, pretty much everybody was leaked to me that you bought everything and you didn't tell me. You fucking lied to me and told me you got an extra vote in the grid. Like, I'm dumb, but I'm not stupid. Like, not Dylan being stupid. Like, I know. So I was like, you know what? I already won. Like, let's just confront him. So I was like, you know what? Wrath, like, you have been fucking lying to me the whole time. Like, I know about this and I know about this and bada bada bada. And I was like, bam, kick him. Get him. So I was like, whatever, it's fine. I was like, whatever, he has all these advantages. Idle me out, fucking get rid of me. So at this point, we have fucking Vintage with an idol, Snowy with an idol, Wrath with the fucking plethora of shit, and me with the shards. So I'm like, oh, scary. It's a little scary in here. But anyways, then we fucking decide to take it to a public VC because, like, Vintage called me and was like, what are you doing? And I was like, girl, because Wrath was freaking out talking to everybody. And I'm like, good. I can fuck with people. I can get in your head. No, I'm just kidding. I love Wrath. But like at that point, I was like kind of mad at him because I'm like, why are you telling me that you're disappointed in me? Like, we are friends. You're lying to me and not telling me stuff, and I didn't care. Like, I wasn't even pissed. Like, let's at Applebee's. Like, I was chilling. Like, we were cool. We were cool. But now you're gonna like be like, I'm disappointed in you. You came at me at the wrong day. Like, don't come at me right after work with the I'm disappointed in you bullshit when I lost to Ethan by like 5 milliseconds. So it was real close. So then like whatever, fucking. We go in the group VC. I'm like, no, fucking come in the group VC with me. Like, we can do this right now. Like, we can squash. Like, you guys know me from last season. I will go in the public VC and I'll say my piece. Like, I don't mind being that bitch. So what do? We squashed our fucking beef in the VC. Shocker. People are so scared in general, just to like talk out their issues and like just kind of come forth with it. And I think that's why I kind of do better in this, because I'm just kind of like, I don't fucking beat around the bush. I'm like, yo, this is why I'm mad at you. This is why, like, tell me why you're mad at me and let's fucking talk it out. And I feel like that's what happened. So that was cool. Then, now I love Wrath again. Whatever, we play fucking Jackbox. Like, this is really big Jackbox this season. It's fun, but like, I'm busy, so it's hard for me to join. But I do my best. So then, whatever. Everyone's like, let's vote Cam. Let's vote Cam. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll vote Cam. I have no fucking connections to him. He's gonna really message me. I'm pretty sure he's gonna vote me. So it's like, alright, bye. It was just crazy. So then I'm at my date and everyone's like, is it still Cam? Is it still Cam? I'm like, yeah. Like, why are you guys all stressing me out? And then Vintage was stressed. I had a VC Vintage. And I'm like, girl, like, Wrath isn't gonna vote you. Wrath just gave you an idol. Because Wrath and Snowy and Vintage also teamed up with an idol shard in order to do the thing that they wanted to do, like make an idol. So then, everyone's cool. 20 minutes before the vote, Taylor's like, I don't know if we should vote for Cam. I don't know. I don't think we should vote for Cam. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, what's the plan? Because, hell, it better not be me. And she was like, no, I think we should do Wrath. Like, I don't trust Wrath. He has all these advantages, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but this whole time, I'm like, kind of in the VC with Wrath, like, kind of talking to Wrath. I'm like, Wrath, like, how are you feeling? Because I'm like, realistically, if we lose again, like, I don't feel super comfortable in a tribe with Vintage, Taylor, or Snowy. Like, I think I would have been on the bottom. And Ralph was like, I don't know. And I was like, why don't we, like, do something? Like, you have the extra votes. Like, I have a shard. Like, I'll shard you. Like, I wanted to shard him so bad. He told me not to shard him, so he's leaving me there. But I'm like, why not? And he was like, Dylan, if you fuck me over here, like, I'm gonna be so upset. And I'm like, Ralph, like, I wouldn't sit here and lie to you in a VC. Like, I'm not good at lying in the VC. Like, to Taylor, yeah, I did tell her I was going Wrath. That was a GM lie. That's a whole different type of lie. Plus, I'm sorry to the people that are, like, probably, like, very upset Taylor went home because I know she was a host and, like, all this stuff and she was really good in her other seasons. She was the optimal play there for me. And you're like, whoa, wait. No, it was optimal. It was. Because I'm stressed. Because Danny was like, oh, everyone's going to hate you for voting Taylor out. It's like, great. Love that. Thanks, Danny. But anyways, like, fucking, she was connected to Wrath. And not Wrath, blah, 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 blah. She was connected to Snowy. They liked each other. Her and Cam had some type of history where she didn't want to vote Cam out. And she was dating Vintage. Where does that leave me? Like, 4 or 5 on her pecking order. She can say whatever she wants, but I don't really feel like I was that high on her pecking order. Sorry. So we blindsided her ass. We 3-2-1'd her. I told Wrath was all gung-ho and stealing Taylor's vote. I said, no, no. I said, you are gonna steal Cam's vote, because if you steal Taylor's vote, they're gonna freak out and idol Taylor. And I made a fucking dumb mistake in the VC with Taylor and Ralph earlier in the day, and I said, and Taylor and Vintage earlier in the day, I said, if Ralph plays anything, I go, idol Taylor, I think they're gonna come for her. Then an hour later, I'm like, fuck, I want her gone. So then I had to be like, oh, yeah, steal from Cam, and just say like, oh, because Taylor said that it was between me and you didn't want that extra vote to get there. Perfect, makes sense. So yeah, we fucking blindsided her ass like hard. Like, it was brutal. It was probably one of the more brutal blindsides I have pulled, but I do love a good 3-2-1. I've done it before, I'll probably do it again. And like, I don't feel very bad about it. Sorry if I should feel bad about it, but she DM'd me for like an hour after the votes, like, and I was messaging like the host, and they were like, let's ignore her. So like, I tried my damnedest. Not tried my damnedest, like, I did what I did. I played my fucking game. Some people aren't gonna like the results, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, I played my game, and we signed up to play the game. So to tell me that you wanna like punch me in the face and stuff is a little far, but you know what? Teach their own. I hope you get better, not bitter. Mwah, mwah. But like, I did that. Dylan B slaying. Dylan B a winner that made it to episode 5, like almost episode 6. Like, girl. And I almost didn't play. So I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the game I'm playing. I'm probably really fucked eventually, but like, I'm having fun, and like, I came here to have a little fun and stir the pot a little bit, and Sage knew that coming in, so you guys got what you signed up for. I'm being more active this season, at least confessional wise. Maybe not DM wise, I've been really busy, but like, I think I'm holding my own pretty well. Dylan B here, so yeah. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses to my fans. I'm so sorry this is 8 minutes long. I'm embarrassed that I talked that long, but there was a lot to say.
So, just like that, in a brutal blindside, Taylor is blindsided with an idol in her pocket. She thought Vintage was going to play his idol on her, because they did have 2 idols, and he decided to trust Dylan, and then it kind of snowballed from there. So RIP to Taylor. Shout out to her. She is a Sagevivor legend, as you guys all know. She has done very well in season 2 and in the Traders, and she helps in production on other seasons when she's not playing. So we love Taylor in this house, so thank you for playing again. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Sagevivor. In the next episode, we're going to spin the wheel again and see what kind of trouble we can get up to. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you then. Bye.